The prosecution have been taking the jury through the events of the hours that led up to the death of Dalian Atkinson, who was, of course, a well-known professional footballer, best known for playing for Aston Villa. Now, they were told that it was in the early hours of the morning, back in August in 2016, that Mr. Atkinson's behaviour on that night had been both distressed and erratic, and he was banging on the door of his father's home in Telford, demanding to be let in. Now neighbours had seen what was happening, had been alarmed and had called the police, and the police officers that attended were PC Benjamin Monk and PC Mary Ellen Betley Smith, both from West Mercia Police. Now, PC Monk had a taser, and there were a number of confrontations when they knocked on that door and Dalian Atkinson answered. We're told Mr. Atkinson was unarmed, but PC Monk deployed his taser 3 times. Now, the first 2 times that he deployed it, it was, the jury were told, ineffective. It appeared to have no effect on Mr. Atkinson, but the 3rd time that he deployed the taser, we're told it was completely effective. Dalian Atkinson fell face first into the road and was, according to neighbours who were watching what happened, completely unresponsive. Now, the jury were told that the normal cycle of a taser is 5 seconds, but that the taser user can override that by continuing to press the trigger, and that in this case PC Monk did override it. In fact, the taser was deployed for some 33 seconds, more than 6 times longer than would be usual. And then the jury were told that PC Monk, once Dalian Atkinson was on the ground, kicked him twice in the head so hard that the imprint of the police constable's bootlaces was seen on 2 parts of Mr. Atkinson's forehead. We're told PC Betley Smith used her baton also to strike Mr. Atkinson while he was on the ground. And the jury were told that PC Monk was an experienced officer, but that he must have been angry that he was in this situation. And in kicking Dalian Atkinson to the head, he can only have intended to cause really serious harm. Now, by the time the ambulance arrived, Dalian Atkinson was unconscious. By the time he got to hospital, he was in cardiac arrest, and he died a short time later. The prosecutor said that she had taken evidence from a specialist, a pathologist and specialist in intensive care, whose opinion it was that were it not for the extended 3rd taser or the kicks to the head, Dalian Atkinson would not have died that night. Now, that is, the jury were told, in spite of the fact that Mr. Atkinson was suffering some health conditions at the time. He was in renal failure and did have some heart disease. Now, PC Monk denies the murder charge and the alternate charge of manslaughter against him, and PC Betley Smith denies assault. The trial is expected to last some 6 to 8 weeks.